another video. Today's video we're looking at Super Rugby Round 5 predictions. We have the Hurricanes taking on the Highlanders and of course the big game on Saturday. The two undefeated teams, the Crusaders taking on the Blues over in Christchurch. Two magnificent games to look forward to. The Chiefs on a bye, much needed bye. I think they needed one of the battering that they've had so far this season. But the whole big talk about this weekend will be focused on the Crusaders and the Blues. Both teams undefeated, both teams wanting to win Super Rugby, one team wanting to take away that, to dethrone the Crusaders for the first time in quite some time. So it's going to be exciting rugby, and I'm hoping we're going to see back and forth tries, fair payments, no cards, just a solid game of rugby that we as fans can enjoy and love. And I really feel that's gonna be what we're gonna get this weekend. Start off with the Crusaders taking on the Blues. I mean, come on, it's gonna be a cracker. But going into this game, we obviously know Crusaders at home, dangerous. They're gonna go in as favourites. They're gonna be the dominant force. But one thing's for sure, we cannot write off the Blues. As much as probably our heads, for those who obviously support the Blues, our heads will be going for the Crusaders just from a home ground point of view, where they are at with their game. But the hearts are going for the Blues, of course. But anything is possible, and we've seen that in rugby. Everyone said the Highlanders were going to be wiped away. They really showed a lot of potential and heart, and we've seen the Chiefs go from not a bad Super Rugby, original Super Rugby, to bottom of the log. Who would have thought? And that's one thing we must remember going into this contest, that anything's possible. And I think it's going to be a hard-fought contest. I know the Crusaders are bringing back the big guns for this one. There's no sign of Dan Carter for this one against the Crusaders, which I'm gutted about. I really hoped Carter would even be on the bench for playing against his former team. I think that would have been a great strategy to ruffle a few feathers and to just cause a little bit of tension and throw a little bit of a curveball to Scott Robinson. But Robinson, he will have game plans and strategies in place in order to show the world what his Crusaders can continue to do. Head-to-head, these sides have met 35 times, with the Crusaders leading 24 games to 11. Already tells you who's in the favour here. In Christchurch, they've met 16 times, with the Crusaders leading 13 games to 3. Recently, Crusaders obviously lead head-to-head, winning 10 matches from the last 10. Now, obviously, the Blues haven't been in the greatest of form in the past few years, but this year they've started something new. They've created a great game plan, and they're really playing solidly at the moment. So that they must take with them going forward. Use that confidence, that momentum, and take it forward into creating something special. This team is great. The Crusaders are phenomenal, one of the greatest rugby teams in the world. But they can be beaten, and we've seen it before. We can sure as hell see it again. It all comes down to who wants this victory more. And if the Blues want it more, they will win. But if they don't, the Crusaders are going to take it. And that's the thing that's going forward towards this game. Blues have had their strong moments, but they've also had weak moments where they've allowed teams to score when they technically shouldn't. They've slacked a bit in certain times of the half. Teams come back. Yes, they're undefeated, and yes, they've taken a win. But against a team like the Crusaders, they will capitalize on opportunities and do a lot more damage. So they need to be alert. They need to be focused, and they need to be mentally ready for this contest. Last time these two met was earlier this year, and the score was 25-8 to the Crusaders, and that was away. Last time they met Christchurch, it was a little bit closer, and this was last year, 1911. Then also in 2019, Blues at home, Crusaders won by 2 points. So yes, this year it wasn't a great result, but previously it's not too bad. So they can take that momentum, use the brain likes of the stars that they currently have and have created. They can do it. They've got phenomenal numbers, but do not underestimate the Crusaders. That's one thing you cannot do. They're a strong team. But having saying that, don't underestimate the Blues. Now, my heart is going deeply for the Blues. I want them to win. I want to see a new champion. I want to see change. But I just think that Scott Robinson's boys are just going to be a little bit on the edge. I do not see it being a walkover. I see it being less than 6 points difference. And I do not know the result, but I do feel that the Crusaders will sneak a win. And I think they're going to sneak it in the last 10 to 5 minutes of the game. I think the Crusaders are going to take the game head on, score some tries. The Blues are going to come back, or it's going to be the opposite. But I think the Crusaders will just edge it at the end, because that's one thing. You cannot leave them till the last minute, because the last minute those guys can come back. So for me, Crusaders to win by less than 6 points. Next up, we got the Hurricanes versus the Highlanders. Hurricanes picking up their first win last weekend, an all-important win. Highlanders not playing too badly at all, and I think they're going to be proud of the performances they've shown. They showed a lot of heart against the Crusaders. They showed a lot of hearts in their victories, and they'll want to take that forward. With Aaron Smith as your number 9, he can really control the games with the other stars within. You got Geordie Barrett, who really shone for the Hurricanes last weekend, and he's going to want to also continue that great form that he had. So for me, this is going to be an exciting game and a very hard one to predict. Game's obviously in Wellington, so you generally would go for the home team, but anything is possible, and the Highlanders for me have really shown the improvement, and it can prove that anything's possible. Overall, these sides have also met 38, 35 times. Hurricanes leading 20 games to 15. In Wellington, they met 14 times, with the Hurricanes leading 8 games to 6. Recently, Hurricanes lead the head-to-head, winning 7 from the last 10 matches. So technically, favour's going towards the Hurricanes. They are the home team, but you cannot write off the Highlanders. I think they're a solid team. Last time these two teams met, Highlanders won by 3 points. Previous time before that, Hurricanes won by 3 points. Previous time before that, another 3-point difference. So what does that tell you? It's going to be a close game. And in 2018, Highlanders actually beat the Hurricanes at home. So anything's possible. If this team shows up, plays to the best of their ability, I know they've got a few injury blows, but they just play with heart and soul. However, having said that, as much as I would like to see a solid game, which I'm sure we will, and I'll tend to go with the underdogs here, I do think the Hurricanes are going to win. I think that home advantage is going to boost them. They're also going to want to add another win to their list going forward. So I think the Hurricanes are going to win, and it's going to be less than 7 points difference. A few of the guys are going 10 to 12. I think it's going to be about 8 points difference on that one. But anything's possible. It's the beauty of this game called rugby. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Let me know your predictions in the comments section down below. Crusaders to win. I hope I'm wrong. Hurricanes to win by less than 7. Both games by less than 7. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you real soon for another. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.